Hi everybody, welcome to another EZLynx Live. I'm your host Ryan Beukema. On today's show, we're going to be diving in to our commercial workflows inside of EZLynx. And more specifically, we're going to be diving into a little bit of the rating process, kind of show you guys how that works in conjunction with Tarmica. And then at the same time, once you maybe get a rate back from Tarmica, well, what do you do with it? Well, in our Q2 release, we have these really great new customizable proposals that you can generate and build templates for. So we're going to show you how you can leverage those when you actually run a quote inside a submission center and want to send it off to your prospect and maybe earn some new business. So let's start by taking a look at Submission Center, and let's talk a little bit about Tarmica and how that all works, and even run a rate real quick. So let's get into EZLynx. All right, so what I'd like to start with, of course, we're right here on our customer's account. This is our business, EZLynx Live, right? And we're going to give them a quote for general liability, and they're a gift shop. But what I'd like to start doing is, let's head over to Connect real quick and show you guys where all this is. So if we go down, down to EZLynx Connect, and we open up My Integrations. Right? So right here, this is where you guys would get set up with Tarmica. Right? It requires you to go through a little bit of an account creation process of getting everything set up. But once you have that all done, they'll require you to send back some information. Some of your actual key. There's a nice little setup guide if you need to figure out how to get into it. It takes you here to our knowledge base where we have a video on all of this for you. So everything's already written out, put together for you. It's a very simple process to get set up with Tarmica so that you can then go in and start quoting. But let's head back over to our little gift shop right here. Okay. Now, one of the things that we started off doing with the gift shop is we created an application form, right? And all this application information in here, this is all going to bridge over to Tarmica whenever we actually run our rate, right? All this stuff gets moved over. So let's say for the sake of time here, we've already gone through some of the setup process. So in order to engage Submission Center directly from a customer's account, it's recommended you go to Submissions, if you already have one sitting there waiting, and you can jump right into your quote. This is going to drop you on that first step, the quote submission details. So we've already given it a quote. It's for EZLynx Live, right? State, we put in our NAICS code, or NICS code. We have our effective date, our expiration date, right? Go ahead and hit save and continue. We've chosen the line of business, which is general liability. If that wasn't there to begin with, right, you'd be able to manually add it. And then we've selected that application that we'd previously built, right, to be the application that we're going to utilize for whenever we go to Tarmica. So if we go over to Tarmica, you click go to quote. This is actually going to let you know that it is going to redirect you to the Tarmica site. So if we go ahead and hit OK, it's going to open everything up in another tab right here for you. And as everything's getting opened up, one of the things that's really kind of cool to know is that it's actually bringing over all of your information. So if we put in our contact information, I'm the owner of it, right? We have my phone number, 17555. This is a real good phone number here, 5555. And then my email address, ryan.beukema@appliedsystems.com. All right. And there's my email. Right. We have all of our information in here. Okay, we're going to go ahead and hit save and continue. There's a couple of things that you're going to want to do. You're going to want to go ahead and hit select gift shop as the shop that we're using. So we're going to go ahead and hit the gift shop option right here. So if we go in and actually type in, we can search for it or we can find it. So either way, it's actually already right here. So we've got the code 534222. So we're going to go ahead and go with that one. Okay. And if you did need to, let's say you need to fill this in from scratch, right? You can actually look it up as well if you'd like to. There you go. Ready, good to go. One of the things that you do want to have to fill out here now, this is going to be something that doesn't bridge over, right? You're going to need to put in your number of employees. So for this instance, we have 2. Our total payroll is 120. Our revenue, we're going to say, as we captured earlier, was 250,000, right? And our manager's years of experience are 10. So if we go ahead and hit save and continue, right? This is the carrier that we want to utilize. Our producer code's already pre-filled and ready to go. It's already in there. Right? We're going to go ahead and choose our limit. So let's just say we hit 501 million, and then our deductible's 1,000. Let's see our operations here. So the one thing that I'll want to just put in there is, I might just add in here description of operation. It's a gift shop. Okay. Submit the quote. So what's going to actually have to do some here So this is going to actually pull in. So it's in the process right now of actually getting our quote back from Acuity utilizing Tarmica. And when all that actually gets done and put into the system, then you're actually going to see your quote there. So there we go. 771 is going to be the quote. Now, what happens? This quote is now done, but I mean, you were previously working in EZLynx. So what happens over here? A couple of things, right? Let's just say you're progressing through your day, you're doing other things. Maybe you're over here on the home page, right? And you're getting ready to maybe go look up something. And all of a sudden, bing, you get this little notification up here. And it lets you know that your submission is ready to go. If you'd like to, you can go view that submission. So if I click view, it's going to take me directly into Submission Center. And there you go. Now I'm actually right here where my submission is, right? And from here, I can go into kind of our next step, our next process here, which is going to be, we've run the quote, right, in Submission Center. We've gone through everything in Tarmica. Now, how do we get it over in front of our customer? How do we get it in front of them so that they can sign off and do everything they need to? Well, that's where the proposals come in. All right, so we've got our quote back through Tarmica and Submission Center. So now what do you do with it? Well, the next thing you'd probably want to do is send it off to your prospect in order for them to review it, sign off on what they want to do, and then you can book the business. But how do you do that, right? Well, in the past, you used to be able to generate proposals in EZLynx, and you used to have to change the logo every single time you wanted to generate the proposal. But with our Q2 release, we now have the ability for you to be able to save customizable proposal templates, right? So why do we do that? Well, our goal here is to help provide you with a more personalized experience when you're building out those templates and give you the option to be able to add in your own branding and also reduce some of that repetitive work, right? Remember, in the past, every time you create a proposal, you often had to change the little logo on the top, but not anymore. You can generate a template and you can reuse it constantly every single time. So what I'd like to do now is let's get into EZLynx. Let's pull up this new template manager for our proposals. Let's show you how to actually build one real quick, and we'll probably leverage one that we already have for a little bit of time's sake here. But then I want to grab that quote that we just did inside of Tarmica, and I want to show you how we can build that into a proposal and then get it sent off to our prospect and maybe earn some new business. So let's jump back into the system. So to start, let's go and let's show you where the new proposal functionality is, right? So when you go to your settings, at the very bottom of that list, you're going to see something that says Proposal and Summary of Insurance Templates. Right? This is where you can actually build out your agency's template for proposals or summary of insurance. All of this is right here. Now, back in the old days, every single time you wanted to generate a proposal, you would have to manually put in, your logo. If you wanted to change any of the colors, you had to manually do that every single time you created a proposal. But that's not the case anymore. Right now, you can come into here. You can actually add in your template, so I can change if I want to. If I wanted to change the color here, I could do that. Anything that is in a bracket like this, any of these things, these are going to be things that you can't edit, that you can't change. What else can you not change, right? Well, the line of business page right here, the line of business details, we don't allow that to be changed. And we give you kind of a reason as to why that's disabled, because this is where all the line of business specific things that are coming out of our system that have been generated out have to go. And they have to go in a particular order, which is why that page is not editable. But the other ones are, right? So if I want to come here to the account summary page, I could edit things on the account summary page if I want to. Maybe I want to change the color right here, right? I want to change this coloring and shading. I can't change the effective date and expiration date. Remember, that gets pre-filled in whenever I generate the proposal. But I can change some of these things if I want to. Now, one of the cool things that we've added here to our template is this thing called Why Choose Us, right? And we've marked this page as active because we want it to show up whenever we create our new proposal. If this page was still a work in progress, then we could mark it as inactive and people wouldn't see it whenever you create the proposal. But for now, we do want it there. And this is really nice because it gives, we came up with this kind of generic Why Us page, which gives a personable touch, right, to your agency. So it helps sell your insured, your prospect, on why they want to do business with your agency. Maybe this is where you talk about how long you've been in the market. Maybe this is where you talk about all the different things that you've helped your customers navigate, right? So if I was an insurer up in New Jersey or somewhere like on a coastal area, I might talk about how my insurance carrier, we've been there through thick and thin for if there's been any kind of natural disasters like a hurricane or something. Like, we were there, we took care of our customers, we made sure they were taken care of. This is where you can really build and sell your brand, right? And convince them to go with you versus somebody else. So I highly recommend a Why Us page, and you can do this a number of different ways, but this page gets added in here, right? So once you're done with everything, once you've done all your different edits, you save this page, right? You save your template, and then every single time you create a proposal, this would be the templates that's used. So let's remember earlier, we did our quote in Tarmica, right? And then we got a quote back. So let's go back to that customer, our EZLynx Live customer here. And let's go back into that actual quote real quick. Okay, so we're right here. We got the quote back. It's $771. Our underwriter that's working with us here, Mary Smith, has sent everything. Everything's good to go. And then of course Mary Smith is not a real person, but we've used it for the sake of this, right? The one thing that you can do now is you have this option up here, create proposal. So if I create the proposal, I selected yes, that's the one that I wanted to use. If I needed to make any changes here, those things could happen. But if I go ahead and hit generate proposal, this is going to generate a proposal in the system. And unlike, like I said previously, what you'll have get generated is the one that has your branding in it. Now, if you want to go in and make some changes after the fact, you can. You can still edit the things if you want to. But all of those things that you built in earlier, right? Including the information that's very specific to it, like the name, the address, and your information, all that. All of that stuff gets pulled in, gets pre-filled for you. And all the extra stuff we added, like the Why Choose Us page, is there, right? So you don't have to actually go in and redo all of this stuff. So if you think about it from the workflow standpoint, you've got almost a complete end-to-end workflow here for running rates through Submission Center utilizing Tarmica. You can go inside of Tarmica, right? You can run your rates, and you might be asking, well, what lines of business, what do they currently support today? If we're going to run some rates on there. Well, and then that's easy, right? Today we actually support general liability, BOP, workers' comp, and commercial auto. Those are the lines of business that you can submit through here to Tarmica and get quotes back. Right? And as you saw, it was pretty fast. I mean, it did in under 30 seconds, we got a quote back, right? So think about the workflow. Once again, I have that customer on the phone. It's one of these lines of business that I'm able to utilize Tarmica for, right, in our system. I've gone ahead and run the quote. I've gotten the quote result back. Now, what do? Now I need to gather that information. I need to go ahead and generate the proposal form. I want to put this together. And then I want to actually send it off to my insured. I'm going to send it off in a nice little email, attach it, say I'd love you to look over this stuff. So all of the information is in there, right? All of the stuff that we've added, effective date, proposals date, everything gets added in. The totals, all of it is there so that your insured can just go in, determine, yeah, this is the deal I want, and then you can bind and get the business on the book. So it's an end-to-end workflow, right, of getting the proposal or the application created rather, going into Submission Center, submitting it for general liability or one of the other lines of business I mentioned, getting a rate back from Tarmica, right, after you've filled out some additional details on their side. That pushes that information back into our system. You get a notification letting you know that, hey, your quote came back. Go take a look at it, right? Once everything looks good for you on that quote, if you go to your details here, then you can actually go in and you can actually generate the proposal if you want, choose which one you want to do it for and hit go and create, and you're off to the races and running. You've got everything you need to do to be able to get this business on the books right here, all at your fingertips. Well, there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed the show today. I hope you guys learned a little bit about how you're able to leverage both Submission Center and Tarmica for your commercial quoting needs, as well as how to take and leverage the new customizable proposal templates that we have to be able to send off those quotes over to your prospects to be able to get some new business on the books. So I hope you guys learned a little from today's show. One thing I do want to mention before we go, and I've mentioned a couple times before, we would love for you to come out and see us October 23rd through the 26th at the Aria Resort and Casino in Las Vegas for AppliedNet 2023. EZLynx product team is going to be there. We're going to have 19 sessions just dedicated to EZLynx. And of those 19 sessions, we're going to have some new product unveiling. So pretty cool. We'll even do our own keynote for EZLynx attendees. So we hope to see you there. It's going to be a really fun time, and as always with these events, we love being able to meet with you face to face, get your input on the system, get your feedback. It's very, very valuable to us, so we hope that you show up this year. Thank you so much for watching, and as we say here in Texas, we'll see you all next time. Bye, everybody.